right, guys. We talked about it earlier, but if you're just getting in your car, maybe you weren't paying attention, busy with the kids, whatever. Dan Quinn made it official yesterday when he named Jayden Daniels the starter for Week 1.
He went through the whole thing. He didn't miss a beat. Hit the targets that we had put in front of him. We talked about the practices against the other teams, the games. So he's ready and he's earned the right to do that.
He also was asked what he's learned from Jayden that indicated that now was the time that he is ready to go.
I think the practice before we left to go down to Miami was the best one I had seen from him on the Tuesday prior to us leaving that Wednesday. The command of it, the accuracy, the details of it, that was one of the best practices I'd seen him have, was the best practice I had seen him have. And so I think that was more in line with, who he is, what he does, the checks, the calls, the communication, the delivery of the ball. He was just really on point. So it was just cool to see all of that, come to life.
He was also asked about any surprises about Jayden's development this summer.
It didn't surprise me. We knew we would get here, but we were just excited to see how we would. And so seeing him hit all the spots, this is a rare competitor. And those are the things that I knew about him, but seeing it in your own building, on your own team, around new teammates, that was cool to see. And so he's just, had a remarkable start to things here. He's earned the respect of teammates and coaches and people inside of the building. And he's very, thankful to be part of a, group that, with the quarterback and the coaches and, helping him get ready. That's a big deal too.
I got to tell you how refreshing it is that he's not a me guy, Like we've had a couple of them here, that are just all about themselves. Yeah, he's not a me guy at all. He's a chill
team
dude.
guy.
The guys all love him.
Yep.
It's like exactly what, and he's a leader. It's exactly what you want. Literally, I don't know where this kid's flaws are. I guess he's a little skinny. I'm trying to figure out what he stinks at.
The comforting thing, I think, for Commanders fans is this guy's going to be the quarterback for a while.
Let's hope.
And it's gone viral. People have talked about it. We've talked about it for years. 2017, Kirk Cousins was the Week 1 starter. 2018, it was Alex Smith. 2019, it was Case Keenum. 2020, it was Dwayne Haskins. 2021, it was Fitzpatrick. Then it was Carson Wentz. Last year, it was Sam Howell. And this year, it's Jayden Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Jayden Daniels for several years.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah, you would hope.
I think so, barring injury. I think injury is the only thing that's going to disrupt him, if anything does.
That's why a team doesn't win. When you have a different quarterback every year,
of course,
you're very unlikely to win.
Correct.
Well, especially when all the ones you mentioned are fairly mediocre.
That's hard to do. It's hard to have a different starting quarterback.
I've already forgotten the Case Keenum
7
era.
straight
Find
years.
another team that's had a different starting quarterback in Week 1 for 8 seasons.
Yeah.
No, it's hard.
That's probably hadn't happened.
But anyway, we'll have DQ on in about 10 minutes, so we'll ask him a lot more about all that and other positions, of course. Just to do a little roster maintenance, the Commanders, I guess they waived Bo Bauer, or I'm not sure if it was an injury settlement or whatever, but they signed Lamar Jackson. Now, not the Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, is that right? Or no, I'm wrong. They signed Justin Hollins. Lamar Jackson was released by Denver. Sorry. Justin Hollins, 6'5", 248 pounds, 5th-round pick from Oregon. The Denver picked in 2019, played a little bit with the Rams. Looks like he had a stint with Green Bay, with the Giants, maybe the Chargers. So he's kind of been around.
Mm-hmm.
Played with 5 different teams. Could just be a temporary thing, be here for a week. Who knows? But they signed Justin Hollins. They list him as a defensive end. Some have called him a linebacker, but 6'5", 248.
Most
So
recently with was it the Clippers? Sorry, the
Chargers, I think so.
The Clippers, the Chargers. Yeah, I mean, again, they're going to make the big cut down next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way they do it. They used to do it a little differently, where they gradually started to make cuts, but now they just do one big cut.
Right. So next Wednesday morning, we're going to be looking at all the kickers that were cut.
Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe they will have already picked somebody up, because I got to believe that is the number one thing Adam Peters is looking to do post roster cut down.
Yeah.
Find a kicker.
Yeah.
Of course.
To that end, 9 teams are currently carrying at least 2 kickers. The Packers currently have 3.
All right.
Okay.
Who are they? Anybody good?
Let me see. They have Greg Joseph, and then Anders Carlson or undrafted free agent Alex Hale. None of those names jump out at you.
I feel like Carlson. I don't know about Anders Carlson. Wasn't there another Carlson that was with the Raiders?
Possibly.
Yes.
The Browns.
There's 2 brothers that are
Yes.
kickers.
Is that what it is? The Browns have
He's probably
Cade
the Nubs
York
Carlson.
and Dustin Hopkins. The Jets have Austin Siebert behind Greg Zuerlein. Joey Sly is competing with Chad Ryland with the Patriots. And I believe, if this is accurate, Randy Bullock and Brett Mayer are veterans who you've heard of,
I wonder
who
if
remain unsigned.
Chad Ryland was a 4th-round pick. I mean, they drafted him pretty high last year.
Right,
But I
so
don't think he was very good last year.
Maybe not, and that's why they brought in Sly. But eventually,
but one of those guys, maybe
maybe Sly comes back.
Carlson for the Packers, he's the Nubs Carlson. He was 27 for 33 last year, but he missed 5 extra points.
It's brutal. I hate it.
Well, look, whoever you're getting, I mean, he
Right.
ain't great
Right.
because it's going to be a
The
guy who was
Riley
cut.
Patterson level.
Right, he's going to be a guy who was cut from another team.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be an issue for the entire year, but we'll see what they do. I mean, maybe Riley has a good week of practice and kicks well on Sunday, and they end up keeping him.
So I think this is crazy, but Greg Rosenthal, do you know him? Greg Rosenthal?
Yeah, sure, as a reporter.
Yeah, as a reporter. I guess he still thinks that Jahan Dotson potentially could be let go by Washington.
That'd be a stunner.
I think
Yeah.
that would be a stunner. Now, there is a logjam at receiver, for sure. Let's assume that the Ayuk situation resolves. I guess they reported, that Pittsburgh offered him less than 28. San Francisco offering him right around 28.
Seemed like it was similar.
Very similar numbers. I guess the attraction, if there is one, is just Tomlin's track record. And a lot of guys like playing for Tomlin.
Nobody's liking what either of the quarterbacks are doing in Pittsburgh, though.
Right.
Oh,
Whatever the opposite of rave reviews are, terrible reviews, that's what they're saying about Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
Greg Rosenthal of NFL.com and NFL Daily Podcast has said, the more Commanders coaches talk, the more I wonder if Jahan Dotson is on their Week 1 roster.
I think he's being provocative
I
there.
think that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
He still runs excellent routes. He still, by and large, has excellent hands. They just got to figure out. I love when DQ says he wants to find what guys, what their special powers are and have them do that.
Yes.